Well, hello everyone, and thank you for joining us for another edition of Running a Holistic Office. I'm Kristen Ford, your host. I am the CEO and co-founder of Holistic Office. And basically, I've built an EHR to help independent practitioners run their holistic practices in a much more efficient and easy way. So here we are again. It's Tuesday at noon, and I'm just so delighted that you can join us. Do you believe it's December already? No, I personally don't. I thought I was just celebrating New Year's not too long ago, but here we are. And as promised, the last month, it is the beginning of the month, and every month is here is Cybersecurity Awareness Month at Holistic Office. And so we will have our monthly installment of security measures and apps and cool things that you can use to help protect your most precious asset, and that is your patient's data. So thank you again for tuning in. We'll give everybody a few minutes here. And as they're kind of rolling in, and if you are joining us today, it would be great if you can let me know where you're calling in from, or showing up from, I should say, right? And if you have any questions, just go ahead and put them in the chat. So we'll be checking those out throughout the show, and I might not be able to always answer them for you, but I will certainly put your answers in the chat or private message you if you need a little bit more than just that standard, pat answer. So, all right. So why don't we get started here? So as I said before, every month is Cybersecurity Awareness Month here at Holistic Office. And so this month, I really wanted to share with you two tools that really will help to keep your operations smooth, quicker, and secure. And it is e-signatures and document storage. So, no snoozing. These are actually really useful tools, and really your patients are going to like you a lot for these, and so is your staff. So let's get into it. So what are exactly these e-signatures, right? So if you have a more modern EHR that you're using, a lot of them now are using e-signatures within the platform. And if they are, I would really take a strong look at them and start implementing them in your practice, right? Because whenever you bring a patient on board, we always want to collect some information about them, right? You want to know why they're there today, and you want to collect information about their history, and why they're there, and where they live, and if you accept insurance, a little bit about the insurance company. You know what I mean, right? So e-signatures is a really great way to at the end of collecting all of that information, you have an e-form for that, and then they can electronically sign it. And these are legally binding signatures. And what's great about it, especially if you're a paper office right now, is if your policy changes, you got all this paper, you got to go in and got to edit the document and print out more stuff. But the way e-signatures work, you're able to pop in that document. You can edit easily. You can edit it on the fly if you need to, and change whatever you need to change. And then it immediately goes to the patient, and then goes back to your office securely. And then you're able to, just give a PDF, attach one right to their file, and also send one to, an email if they prefer, or just print it out right there in the office. It all depends on how you have that set up. So, there's several different DocuSign type or, e-signature type apps out there. And, two of them that I have found that have been very useful are Pandadoc, which really was designed with you guys in mind, the practitioners in mind. They will provide you with a business associates agreement, if you don't have one already, and they are HIPAA compliant, and very easy to use. And then I also wanted to include DocuSign with this because lots and lots of people use DocuSign, and you've probably used it already and had it sent to you, but they too are also HIPAA compliant. And so these two things here, they're going to allow you to, get that information straight from your patient, You don't have to worry about missing a page, something fall off the clipboard or anything like that. It's all in one easy to use piece of software. And if so if your EHR doesn't have this for you already, some EHRs may actually integrate with this. And if they don't, you can always come up with a pretty easy to use system that's still going to save you time, still save you money, right? And really cut down on errors and all that other good stuff. So that's our first tip for this week is, using an e-signature. And then, as you collect all of these great things and they sign off on your policy and, they've agreed on how they're going to pay you and how you're going to share their information and all that groovy stuff that you need to disclose, you need a place to store it. And this is where I see a lot of people make some interesting decisions about document storage, right? So document storage, another one of those snoozers, I get it. It's super important, right? You just can't have stuff on somebody's desktop. You can't have somebody, taking snapshots on their phone and things of that nature. You need to control all of this, and it's all part of your policies and procedures. And I know that you guys are updating at least monthly. I get it. So anyways, so document storage, why do we want it? So with the organization that we're just talking about, we want it to be easy to use. When you're busy running a practice, the last thing you need is someone going, hey, where's that document you want me to use? I don't understand. Where is it? So, you want it to be easy to find. And you also want to set level permissions, right? Not everybody needs to see all your documents. As somebody who used to be that finance person in the background, I had, access to all kinds of sensitive information that we didn't really want to share with everybody in the office. So what's great about these document storage systems is that you can set your user level permissions. So, if you have, a lovely person out front, she's checking out your patients or checking them in, and you're like, hey, this person needs information about this particular protocol, or they need to know, how to care for themselves after today's procedure, right? Or they're going to follow this nutrition protocol. You should be able to find that piece of information if it's not already stored in your EHR. And I know that the EHRs are a little iffy sometimes with that. But you should have this additional document storage that's available. So it's easy to attach to somebody's file or print out or otherwise email to them. So, and again, they're secure and they're HIPAA compliant. And that always depends on, which ones you're using, right? So I do have a couple of suggestions. Don't I always? For various types of apps you can use. Oh, I think that's our companion. She's here loose in the house. Sorry about that. So I guess she's a little needy. Anyway, so getting back to this, I personally use Dropbox. Thing about Dropbox is you need to have a professional account, and then you have all the HIPAA compliance that you need, and it's really, really easy to set up those user permissions. And they also have some other cool features in there as well that allows you to, have group documents and stuff like that. So if you have like a team meeting or whatever, or you have an office procedural or whatever, you can use it. So there's a lot of really great features, and it's not real expensive. And that also gives you, encryption, end-to-end encryption as well. And Box is another really great tool. I've used that as well. And what's really cool about Box is that, it's got that REST, it's encrypted all of the time. Okay. And so again, really easy to use, easy to organize, and set up those user permissions. And these two, in particular, they have all kinds of integrations available to them. Some of them may integrate with an EHR that you have already, or maybe some of the other apps that you might use in your office in addition to your EHR. So these are the two that I recommend. Now, a lot of people also use Google. They use Office 365. And I like Office 365 and everything. And there's a lot that they can do as far as storage and compliance and things of that nature. But I really recommend you get some outside help with that. There's a lot of terrific organizations that can, supply you with some a little bit of help to set these things up and to set them up properly. And I do recommend that for Google and for Microsoft. I think it's really easy. Sometimes when you have too many, features, it's easy to get lost in them, and then you can end up making an unintentional error. I work with one organization that the way it was set up is, we were sending a link to something in the drive, and wouldn't you know it, also it made a cool little PDF and attached it, and it was just kind of blew the whole reason why we had a link and trying to stop these attachments from floating all over town. So I don't dislike Google and Microsoft, but I do think that getting a little bit of help and making sure that that's planned out and that so you're HIPAA compliant would just be super. So those are my two really big, great, awesome tips for today. I actually have our little chief companion officer with us down here, and she's got kind of a look like this. Yes, there she is. This is actually the look that I got all through Thanksgiving. Mom, where's the turkey? Mom, I want more turkey. So, we had an awesome Thanksgiving, and I hope that you guys did too. I know, if I didn't say that in our last show, I actually ended up making a second Thanksgiving dinner. Never thought that would happen, but you know what? It all got eaten. Everybody's happy. And, and our chief companion has a glossy coat from all that great, stuff from the skin and everything. So anyway, so this is our show for today. And if I haven't thanked you for coming in, I really do appreciate it. If I haven't asked you to connect with me on LinkedIn, please do. We are also streaming on Facebook. You can like us there and check out our website. So we will see you next week, as we're going to run another Holistic Office show every Tuesday at noon Pacific time. So thank you so much for joining me today. Next week, it's the middle of the month already. Do you believe that, action? And we're going to be talking about your profit and loss statement, because every month in the middle of the month, we should be checking out our financials. And I want to make sure that you are always in command of your practice. So have an awesome week, everybody. Thank you again for showing up, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.